Namaskar, very good morning. Welcome to the audiocast from Kodak Securities. I'm your host and guide, Anindya Banerjee. जो global economic data आ रहा है, जैसे कल the PMI numbers, which basically gives us a clue about what is happening real time in the manufacturing and services sector. तो कल था the releases from Europe, from North America, and they were clearly pointing to one thing: there is a global slowdown, or indication is that high inflation, weakening demand, or at the same time supply chain disruption, ये तीनों factors is dragging global growth. और उसके बाद भी जो इकोनॉमिक डेटा यूएस से आया, from the housing sector, from the manufacturing sector, all are pointing towards a slowdown. But it's going to be a tough walk for the Fed, क्योंकि Fed is when the central bank faces the dilemma between high inflation and not so strong growth, they have to choose one side. In this case, the Fed has chosen inflation, and Fed is actually indicating to the market that they have to sacrifice growth to get inflation back down. So this kind of a combination is not good news for obviously the stock markets. And अगर interestingly हम लोग bond market पे अगर focus करें, जो US 10-year है, that has started to come off quite a bit. जो 3 almost 320 के आसपास चला गया था, वो अभी 277 है, 2.77% on the US 10-year. So quite a significant drop in the yields, which means the market is pricing in that the Fed could be, the hikes of the Fed could actually create a recession, or if not a recession, a slowdown in growth dramatically over the coming quarters. तो ये सिचुएशन में जो interesting एक shift हुआ है globally in the currency market, that dollar has weakened against several currencies, like the European currencies like the euro and pound, and specifically against the Chinese currency. क्योंकि हम लोगों ने ये issue flag किया था 2 weeks back, that जो economic momentum है US का compared to economic momentum in Europe is actually weakening. So weaker economic momentum has created an opportunity जहाँ पे massive short positions in the euro and pound could start getting unwound, and that's exactly what is happening. But कल हम लोगों ने जो rally देखा वो ज़्यादा यूरो पे था rather than on pound. The कारण is, first the economic data out of UK was quite poor. जो flash PMIs थे, flash PMI from Eurozone was strong, relatively strong. This services sector was weak, the manufacturing was strong, but in pound it was, from UK it was pretty horrendous. इसके लिए pound came under pressure. At the same time जो risk off था global markets में, मतलब equity में जो sell off, that also weighed on the pound. So because of these reasons, GBP came pulled back, but euro continued to rally, so pushing the dollar index lower. So this is a kind of interesting shift which has happened in the global currency market. तो इसका impact डॉलर रुपये पे अभी भी it is quite mild. 77.5 के आसपास ट्रेड कर रहा है in the offshore market, the May futures. But ये जो range है 77.30 and 77.80-90, ये range में the May futures have been caught for the last 2 weeks. So it has not really broken into, say, new grounds at this point in time. It's still stuck in this old range. इसके लिए option sellers are doing quite well. But we have to understand, इतना narrow range of almost less than 1% should not hold for long. So therefore be very careful. ये 2 हफ्ता already it's in this narrow range. हो सकता है another 1 week or so it can continue in that. But we have to be now careful with our option shorts. We should start taking profit. And when we are thinking of doing fresh shorts for June 3rd, जो next weekly expiry होगा, not this Friday, the next Friday after that, उसमें we have to think how we should take the shots. We will be obviously updating you on that, whether we should take unhedged trades like straddles or strangles, or we should take hedged ones like ironfly or butterfly. Generally ironfly and butterflies are done with longer expiries, but in our case we have to see, because जो implied volatility और VIX जो हम लोग बोलते हैं, that's pretty low, which is evident because of this low range in very narrow range in the market. इसके लिए we have to be careful here with fresh short positions on the straddles and strangles, because हो सकता है कि this range में break either on the downside or on the upside looks a little difficult, because जिस हिसाब से RBI ने aggressively intervene किया है and they have openly said that they don't want a runaway depreciation. तो अगर अभी रुपी depreciate करता है against the dollar when other currencies are appreciating, RBI won't like it, which means their intervention will be even more aggressive. So therefore upside breakout looks unlikely. Downside breakdown can be interesting because RBI support करने के लिए नहीं आएंगे. So if there is a downside break, तो उसमें क्या होगा, your vols may jump slightly initially, but then the vols will come down. तो इसके लिए anyways we have to be careful. This range can shift in the coming days and accordingly we should be prepared. अभी फिलहाल intraday के लिए you can still look at shorting straddle strangles because still you can manage the risk, but the warning which I gave you is more for a positional trade spanning a week or a 10 days. Now on the crosses, Euro INR should continue to outperform GBP INR. So a long Euro INR and short GBP INR can be a relative trade which can be done. So that's it, folks. This is Anindya Banerjee signing off. A fantastic day ahead.